welcome to another battle report. Today we have Legion of Everblight versus Retribution of Scyrah, 20 points, Mangled Metal, Tooth and Claw battle. For Retribution, there's our friend Damon, and he's got the Chimera, the Gorgon, the Hydra, the Griffin, and behind them, Ravyn right there. And for the Legion, we have the Rake over on the side, 3 Shredders, Bethayne and Belphegor, there's Bethayne, and the Carnivian. And we'll kick things off. Retribution turn 1, the Chimera starts by using Apparition to move a couple of inches forward. Then pretty much everybody makes a full advance. Ravyn, of course, casts Snipe here on the Hydra and makes a full advance. For Legion, turn 1, we have the Rake, who runs all the way over to here. We have the Carnivian, who casts Spiny Growth on himself, makes a full advance. The Shredder over here runs into the woods. This Shredder makes a full advance and riles up. Belphegor makes a full advance, casts a Spoiler on himself. Bethayne makes a full advance, also casts a Spoiler, and burns some Fury. And this Shredder over here makes a full advance. Retribution turn 2. Ravyn upkeeps Snipe and gives 3 focus to the Chimera. And the Chimera makes a 2-inch Apparition move. The Gorgon makes a full advance. Ravyn makes a full advance and casts Locomotion on the Hydra. Griffin makes a full advance. They're forming a defensive line here. And then the Hydra goes and makes a ranged attack at the Carnivian, who's off on the screen there, deals 2 damage at it. Legion turn 2, the Carnivian charges the Gorgon. Of course doesn't make range, but has the Assault Spray, so uses that. Deals 9 damage to the Gorgon and 2 to Ravyn. Shredder makes a full advance, casts Tenacity onto the Carnivian. Belphegor makes a full advance, uses Despoiler. Bethayne casts Spiny Growth on the Carnivian and Ashen Veil on the Carnivian. And she casts Spiny Growth and Tenacity on herself. Shredder makes a full advance. Rake over here makes a full advance. And then this Shredder here makes a full advance and casts Tenacity on Belphegor. Retribution turn 3, the Griffin starts the turn, charging the Rake, deals 10 damage to it. The Hydra goes, makes a ranged attack at the Carnivian, does 5 damage. The Gorgon makes a full advance and does a ranged attack on the Carnivian but misses. Ravyn makes a full advance, and then the Chimera comes up and makes a full advance up to the altar. Legion turn 3. Bethayne, of course, leeches the Fury. She starts, activates, and uses Belphegor as an arc node to cast Gallows at the Griffin, pulling him in 5 inches. She then goes and heals the Rake for 2 damage and casts Tenacity on herself. The Rake then charges in to the Griffin for 3 damage, and Belphegor activates. He was, of course, somewhere back here. Charges in for another 6 damage. Carnivian comes up, makes a full advance, and misses against the Gorgon. Shredder here goes Rabid, makes a melee attack against the Gorgon for 8 damage. These 2 Shredders both make a full advance. So the Griffin starts Retribution turn 4, makes a melee attack at the Rake and misses. Ravyn makes a full advance, uses the arc node of the Chimera, who is actually about back here, to cast Eruption into the Shredder, who is right here, deals 5 damage to it. She then uses Vortex of Destruction on herself, and makes a ranged attack at the Shredder, but it comes up short. Chimera then goes, who's back here, charges the Shredder, does enough damage to kill it. Hydra then charges the Carnivian, deals 12 damage, and is able to use his Headbutt ability, which knocks down the Carnivian. The Gorgon comes in, does a combo strike on the Carnivian for 6 damage, bringing down Carnivian's body. For the Legion turn 4, Bethayne leeches 6 Fury. Rake starts by making a melee attack at the Griffin, and likewise misses. Shredder over here goes Rabid onto the Gorgon, does 1 whole damage. The Carnivian melee attacks against the Hydra, dealing a total of 15 damage to it. Bethayne goes, makes a full advance, casts Eruption of Spines, targeting the Carnivian. It ends up hitting 6 targets, including the Carnivian. It deals 2 to the Carnivian, 9 to the Shredder here, 9 more to the Gorgon, which kills it, 3 to the Hydra, 2 to the Griffin here, 8 damage to the Rake, and 0 to Belphegor. And then finally she uses Gallows from the Shredder, or she uses Gallows, I'm sorry, from herself to the Chimera for 5 damage, and pulls him in front of the Shredder. Shredder then goes Rabid, does a melee attack on the Chimera for 13 damage. Belphegor makes a melee attack and misses. Griffin starts Retribution's turn 5, making a melee attack at the Rake, and misses yet again. Ravyn goes and pops her feet, and charges the Carnivian, ends up killing it. She then gets a free shot with ranged attack, and ends up firing at a Shredder, kills it, and makes another ranged attack, killing the other Shredder. She then goes and casts Locomotion on the Hydra, allows him to move up an inch. Hydra then goes and makes a ranged attack at Bethayne, hitting her for 18 damage. She transfers the damage over to Belphegor, whose mind becomes down because of that. And then the Chimera comes in and charges Bethayne for 9 damage. For Legion, Bethayne starts, and she uses the Shadow Shift Animus to break away from the Chimera. She makes full advance away and casts Eruption of Spines onto the Hydra. It ends up doing 3 damage to Ravyn and 4 to the Griffin. The Rake then Shadow Shifts himself, makes a full advance over to Bethayne, tries to hit her, and it's a miss. Belphegor goes with a 2-handed throw to the Gorgon, tries to aim it at the Hydra, comes up a little short, then Belphegor riles up. Ravyn kicks off turn 6 by using a melee attack against the Rake, and ends up killing him. She then goes and makes a ranged attack over at Belphegor, ends up doing a total of 9 damage, leaving him with just 1 box left. The Griffin recharges his Force Generator for a couple points, and then the Hydra goes, makes a ranged attack over at Bethayne, wipes her out, and Retribution wins. For the MVPs of this game, Sean chose his Shredder, which this one is named Sniffy, who did some decent damage during the battle, and Damon decided on the Hydra for basically leaving a path of destruction on the battlefield. Some final thoughts. We also learned later on that you can't stack as many anima as Sean did during the battle, so that's something that we learned we can't do, so kids, do not try that at home. So that's another one of our battle reports. Hope you enjoyed it. We tried something a little bit different this time with the kind of John Madden style lines throughout the thing. If you like that, say something, leave a comment. If you didn't like it, leave a comment. We'd like to know what you guys are thinking. So, you know, drop us a line there in the subscriptions or in the comments box. And stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more things coming at you. Take care.